But when I got diagnosed, I was doubting a lot. I was like, God, why would you let this happen to me? Like, why would you allow me to go through this traumatic experience? And it's just like over time, like God was just showing himself, like, I'm here. I am with you. Like, even though you're having all of these like doubts and all of these questions, I'm going to walk with you through it. Yes.
So there's one other aspect that I'd love to invite you to share on here. When I was invited on your podcast, you talked about your experience with faith. And I know both of us have talked, privately about our experience with faith. And I want to preface this by saying we recognize and honor that there are a lot of people who've had traumatic experiences with faith. And so please don't take this as any kind of like everybody needs to have this experience, but it is part of both of our journeys. So I would love to invite you if you want to share any of that with us, whatever you'd like to share.
Yeah. So with me, I grew up Christian all my life. So I was like in a Christian household and I was in like a Caribbean Christian household. So for all everybody who has West Indian parents, y'all know, like it was a very strict, like church every Sunday type of thing. And I always had a view of God that he was like really distant, that he was just up there in the sky looking down on us. All we had to do was be holy and perfect, and that would be it. Once I became a Christian, like in my early years, so I was like around like 9, 10, like preteen type of, experience. And when I became a Christian, I was then trying to learn, like, okay, how do I cultivate a relationship with God? Because a lot of the times when people hear God, they think it's all about religion and rules. And that's not true. Like, he wants to have a relationship with us, and cultivating that relationship is what's most important. And so, but when I got diagnosed, I was doubting a lot. I was like, God, why would you let this happen to me? Like, why would you allow me to go through this traumatic experience? And it's just like over time, like God was just showing himself, like, I'm here. I am with you. Like, even though you're having all of these like doubts and all of these questions, I'm going to walk with you through it. And so that's really why I wanted to talk about faith and mental health on my podcast specifically, because I feel like the two do intersect. And earlier on, you were talking about hope. I mean, that's where hope comes from. Hope comes from my faith. And so I think the two go hand in hand. And a lot of the times it's like, yeah, Christianity could better talk about mental health issues in the church. They could do a lot of work in that area. But the thing is, it's like God is all about love, and he's all about redemption, and he's all about hope. And so, yeah, in my experience, God has just shown himself faithful. And he has also showed me that, he is my source of hope and the source of my resilience to keep going and to keep trying. Like, there was a moment where I was like, well, I'm just gonna not do this anymore, and I'm just gonna give up because it doesn't make a difference. Like, my mood is all over the place. Like, these medications aren't working for me. And I was just in a place where I was like, well, what's the point? But then as I continue to cultivate my relationship with God, and also through my support system, like a lot of my mentors, a lot of people in church have rallied around me and also given me encouragement to keep going. And I just want to say really quickly on that, having a strong support system is like crucial to healing, because when you have those people who you could depend on, those people that you could rely on, and those people who will come alongside you and help you walk and carry you when you can't even carry yourself, that is the thing that made me see that God was actually there. Because in the midst of all of my suffering, he rose people up to come and help me. And so that's why I can sit here tonight and share that without God and without the support system that I had along the way, I would have given up a long time ago. Rough edges wouldn't even exist. And I wouldn't even be sitting here talking to you tonight because, you know, without that faith, that's my anchor. And so, yeah, I just want to encourage you guys with that.